ago, even though we were facing a $627 million deficit, we still managed to make a transformational change by creating universal all-day kindergarten for the first time. And we paid back the school shift on top of that. And the bill doesn't do nearly enough to invest in early childhood education. There is no more surefire way to reduce the achievement gap than to invest in early childhood education. I've been able to send my kids to a great early childhood program. I've seen how much they benefit from it, and we should make pre-kindergarten education an option for as many kids as possible. This bill does a disservice to our schools by failing to fund them, and it does a disservice to our kids. And it does a disservice to our taxpayers by creating needless tax increases. Please vote no on adopting this conference committee report.
The lady from Ramsey, Representative Murphy E.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. And thanks, Representative Luncheski, for pointing out that tax increase. I think this might be the first time that we've debated an education bill in the middle of the night. It seems like we always do Health and Human Services in the middle of the night, and I think we will, unless, the sun comes up. But here we are in the middle of the night debating the education bill, which is usually, one of those bills that we like to highlight for the people of Minnesota because Minnesotans, they support education funding, and they understand that that is the sassy sauce for what makes Minnesota such a great place to live, run a business, and raise our families. I ran for office in 2006 because I really wanted to work on health care, and we all choose to run for office because we want to accomplish something important for Minnesota. At least that's my belief, and that's been my experience. I think it's important to have ambition for Minnesota. That's why I ran, and I'm pretty sure that's why all of us ran. I think about Representative Jen Schultz, one of our first-termers, and I know she ran in Duluth because she really wanted to work on health care reform. And I think about my seatmate, Representative Dave Pinto, who really wanted to work on early learning. He's got so much talent, but he came here because he really wanted to focus on early learning. And I think about Representative John Applebaum, another one of our first-termers, and I know when I was working with him out in his district, he really wanted to work on reducing student debt because higher ed is important to the people of across the state of Minnesota, and he was hearing about that from the people he hoped to represent. And, we all come here after an election filled up with the hope of what we might accomplish for the people of Minnesota. And, each year that I have been here, it's been a little different. All but one of my years in the legislature,